Welcome to JoeyCTV. So tonight I'm going to be showing you the aftermath of the now abandoned Brewster's ice cream shop. This is the place I shot with my sister and my niece and nephew. And I'm back now to show you the changes, but I'm also here to do kind of a real talk video. And got a lot to talk about with you guys tonight, and some things that I feel that that I'm inspired to talk to you about. So with that being said, we're gonna check this place out. I must say it is rather creepy being here right now at this closed abandoned building. There's always some kind of like undertow of creepy about an abandoned place to me. Anyway, I hope you're going to enjoy this video. There's so much, like I said, I want to talk about. I want to show you guys this place, and you're coming with it. You remember I did a video here just, well, last week. And this is the remainder of a now cleaned out, abandoned, totally abandoned place. And I'll show you guys inside. If you recall, last time we were here, the owner was still here cleaning out the place. You could see clearly there's everything's gone now. They cleaned it up, cleaned it out. You could see hand sanitizer, a phone, everything else. There's a nice office chair in there, and everything else is gone, guys. Look at that. This is what's left. Anyway, I always find this fascinating to come to places and abandoned places, check them out. Wonder if the bell still works. Now the bell's gone. Oh, there's another bell. Let's see. I wonder, there seems to be electricity in here. Yeah. Could ring that bell all day, nobody's coming. So supposedly, as I mentioned in the last video, this place will be turned into, I believe, a Wendy's. Anyway, right across the street here is Planet Fitness. You guys probably see me working out there a lot. This is really close to where I live. So close that it was such a convenient video to make. And let's see, do they still have water running here? I wonder. Yes, they do. And of course it's locked up tight, but you know what, honestly, I wouldn't even try to go in there. The owners were so nice to let me film this place. And anyway, I want to check out the drive-thru for some reason. Look at it, it still has pricing on there. So a small, regular, and large, but what? Oh, there's a freezy, whatever that was. And look, there's a little switch for the light in there. I wonder if, is this opened? No, it's locked up. Still manicured. I mean, like I said, this just closed down. Do you guys pick up that eerie feeling? Like, I don't know, maybe it's because it's dark and creepy, like, I don't know. Definitely has an ominous feel to it, that's for sure. There's really not a whole lot to this place. But this place, like I said, when I was here with my sister and my nephew and niece, I've been coming here for years. I mean, I've only lived in this area for a little over a year, but my sister's lived here for so long that, you know, every time I'd come visit, this is one of the places we'd go to. And I'm a real nostalgic person. There's lots of traffic that goes by here. But like I said, the owners of this place told me I can come here and film whenever I want. They still own the property. Just genuinely nice people. It's a little cold out tonight as well, so standing out here is kind of rough. But anyway, that's basically the whole place. Guys, so like I said, it's been very cold tonight, and just sitting out here has been kind of freezing. But I thought this was a very important video for me to make, and I want to talk about something that I'm not an expert on at all, and I want to talk about how I feel God's influenced my life lately, and how important that is. And I want to preface this off with, I'm not versed on the Bible. I would never be so presumptuous to even feel that I'm talking for God. I also am not a person to try to put my beliefs on anybody. And I'm also not a person who would try to say I know something that I know nothing about. But I do want to talk what I feel that God's put in my heart from the most humblest perspective. And I don't know if this video will ever see the light of day, quite honestly. I'm so twisted and torn on this, because I prayed so hard to God for answers, and I feel that this is what He's put in my heart. And again, I don't want to be presumptuous at all. I want to be putting out what I feel, and I feel that God inspired me to do this very video. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, in my life, I have been a sinner. I think we all have. I've been a liar. I've been a cheater. I've been a thief. I could continue with the list. I don't think any of us are beyond sin. And the consequence of my sin in my life has been spending many, many years lying to myself, spent many years battling myself. I've been alone in my life because of my sins. I've ruined relationships I had with people. I've hurt others and hurt myself. And the consequence of all that had been really that I wound up alone in so many ways. And one way to combat that being alone was lying to myself more that everything's alright, but it really wasn't. And there's a lot I could add to this, but there's a lot that's superfluous information that really doesn't matter. It's the message that matters. So I learned that I made a lot of bad choices and mistakes, and I want to talk about my journey to God, because I think that's what's important in this message, and I feel that that's what's been laid upon my heart. First and foremost, I want to say that I was raised Catholic, and I remember as a kid, I didn't really even understand religion, and I don't really endorse religion. I believe you can have a relationship with God, and I think that religion, in my opinion, in most cases, is man-made stuff, like twisted truths, and the proof in my heart is that, there's so many religions and everybody says they're right. If everybody's right, then realistically, everybody's wrong, right? But I believe you can have a relationship with God. Now, I'll tell you a couple of personal things that happened to me in my journey, and how God's influenced my life, and how God's changed my life and bettered my life. So through my sins in my life has always brought me to despair, to heartache. I'll share a very personal experience with you guys. And when I believe I was 17 years old or 16, and my girlfriend at the time got pregnant, and I was so scared to tell my parents. I was really scared to tell my parents, so I didn't know what to do. And the first thing we did was, we're like, what are we gonna do? Do we run away together? What do we do? And I remember going to my priest. I turned to the priest, and I drove down to the church, and I walked in, and the secretary was there, and she said to me, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Hey, need to see the priest." And she's like, "Well, what is it about?" And I said, "Well, I'd really rather not discuss this with you, but can I see the priest?" And she's like, "Well, you can make an appointment." And I said, I really need to talk to somebody this evening. And I remember her like seeming confused, but the priest, somewhat reluctantly, mind you, said he would talk to me. So he brought me in his office, and I explained to him that my girlfriend was pregnant, and I needed somewhere to turn, I needed somewhere to be. And I remember him saying to me, "Well, what do you plan on doing?" We're considering terminating the pregnancy. And I remember him basically telling me that if you do that, there's a possibility you won't go to heaven. If you do that, you could get excommunicated from the church. And I remember leaving there and getting in my car and crying myself hard. And then it dawned on me. I said, he's just a man. He's not God. Why is he telling me this? And at that young age, one of the first thoughts that came in my head was, why didn't he call my parents or convince me to call my parents? And he could have said to me, hey Joe, I know you're going through a lot, I know you came here in confidence, but let's go talk to your parents. Maybe we should call them. I'll be here with you. But he didn't do that. He sent me on my way with fire and brimstone in my imagination. And it was at that point that I realized, hey, you know what? I need my relationship with God, not with this man, to tell me what my relationship with God should be. Likewise, I have no authority to tell anybody what they should believe. I'm just simply sharing what my heart feels, and I thought it was important. But like always, life moves on, and she miscarried the baby. It was very sad, but life moved on, and put God on the back burner again, and wound up getting married. Going through college, married my first wife, and we started making a pretty good amount of money at that time. Had a beautiful home, had all the things we wanted, and then I became really sick. What happened is apparently I had like a strep throat, and I didn't take care of it. It went to my heart. It went to inflamed the lining around my heart. And when I say I was sick, I honestly thought I was going to go to sleep and not wake up. And again, I prayed to God. And when I needed God, that is when I saw it after Him, not when I didn't need Him. And I prayed on it. Nevertheless, wound up getting better, and once again put God on the back burner, and made some bad choices in my life, and paid dearly for them because wound up alone. Holy moly, that scared me, guys. I tell you, I don't know, I just didn't expect that. Anyway, so I went through all that, and again, put God on the back burner, and I guess I was living my life in a way that was to try to mask the pain of really where I was in life. Even when I made a lot of money, or I didn't make a lot of money, but nothing could fill that void. So you try other things to fill the void. Anyway, I apologize, there's so much traffic here. So you try to fill the void, right? And now there's road work. I tell you guys, you can't win for losing here, right? But anyway, I did mask a lot of it in my life. I realized that. I didn't realize to what extent, you try to fill the void, the pain, and it doesn't really, there's nothing that can replace that in life. Nothing that can replace me not seeing my kids every day. Nothing that can replace nothing that can replace happiness. You just can't buy happiness. It's impossible. So I persevere and I move on in my life. And I carried so much sadness and pain. And one of the hardest things to do is forgive yourself. I believed in God, and I believed that God would forgive me, but I couldn't forgive me. And now I'm a different person, because I feel that God's restored a lot of me, of who I am, and what I can be. And I believe that through God, I could change my life. I feel God will restore a lot of my life, and I only hope that for everybody. I humbly changed my heart, and it feels good. After all these years, it finally feels good to know through God, our Father, through the Son, Jesus Christ, I can move forward in my life, and that God will help me. I carried so much pain for so long, and I feel that I finally am starting to see the other side. Look at people differently now than I did in the past. I believe this world is filled with so much against us all the time, and it's so easy to fall in the trap of money, the trap of lust, the trap of greed, the lie. It's so easy to get trapped in the lie. And the truth is, the closer I get to God in my heart, the more the enemy may try to attack. And I need to keep my faith strong. And that's what I believe I needed to tell you. That's what my heart felt like I needed to say. And I know that this world teaches us so many things. Most people, if you look at them, they're not fulfilled. They're not happy. We don't really love one another. We don't take care of one another like we're supposed to, right? But anyway, like I said, I don't know if this will ever see the light of day, but it is something I wanted to share with you guys, because I struggled with this for a while. Do I talk about this? Do I not? I prayed on it. I honestly don't even know if I should be talking about this. I'm no expert. Ask me to quote the Bible. Can't help you guys. The only thing I could do is tell you my experience, and is my experience, does it help you? I don't know. Will it help somebody? I hope so. Go in love, go in peace. Let's walk around one more time. So I always wondered why I was drawn to abandoned places. And I remember as a kid, there were two people who influenced me with this. One was my Uncle Francis, my father's brother, my uncle. Would come to the house when I was a little kid, and he lived upstate New York, and he would always like go to abandoned places and like look for stuff, and I always found it so fascinating that it made me want to do it. And when I was a kid, I would. Me and my friends. It kind of stuck with me. part of it is I want to see what's still there. Part of it is I'm curious, obviously curious. But the biggest thing, I like the feeling it gives me. I like the creepy, I don't know why. Anyway, the camera hit 30 minutes and I didn't even realize I was probably just speaking to myself, but what I was saying was, my uncle used to tell me about how he would do these types of things, explore these old houses and the things he'd find and these adventures, and I just enticed me as a child. So I would do that with my friends. We'd go to abandoned places. But I guess being a person like me who's very nostalgic, curious, adventuresome maybe, and also broken like these buildings. Like maybe that's what the attraction is for me. Maybe just like this old building that's derelict, and well, this isn't derelict, but others that are. I'm sure this will be derelict, but unless they put the Wendy's here, right? But anyway, maybe this was a poor example, but maybe there's something beautiful in decay. Maybe there's something amazing to find. Maybe it's like an adventure, right? Or maybe I'm broken like the building. Anyway, the point I'm making is that life is short. We're all in this together. We all make mistakes. We all make bad choices. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need, honestly, the things of this world sometimes could be the biggest lie in the world. Because I've been the guy who had a lot of money, I've been the guy who had no money, and I felt the same pain, the same happiness, and it's not really about the lie. The lie is, in my opinion, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, I'm simply emptying my heart. Maybe this will help somebody, right? Maybe not. But the truth is, and it took me a long time to find the truth, the truth is, I believe that this world is set up specifically to keep us basically away from God. It's kind of like a trap, you know, because the end result, we all die, right? But true happiness has got to come from within. It will never come with money. It'll make life easier with money, but you can't get rid of the pain. Trust me, I know. There's a poison out there, and in my opinion, God is the only way for true happiness. So that being said, I hope you guys find love and peace, and like I said, I don't know if this will ever make the light of day. I don't know what else to say, guys, other than reiterate that I'm no expert. I can't quote the Bible. I can't stand up and give a sermon. I can only tell you through prayer what I feel God has put in my heart. And if I didn't do that, ask for God's help, honestly, I don't think I'd ever find true peace in my life. And I believe God restores everything in your life if you ask Him to. Anyway, go in love, go in peace, guys. Have a good night.